let's talk about your brother Anthony. Tell us how, his pursuit of marriage is really front and center this season, and how do his brothers, intervene and support him in finding his love match?
Well, I feel really mean because I think Benedict in many ways tries to support him, but because he's his brother, it's very difficult for him to get through because we're sort of quite different, but also quite similar in a very authentic sort of brotherly way. And so actually, I think, and I think that's mirrored back with Anthony as well. I think we try to help each other, but also we can't help just sort of just mocking each other.
Yes.
I think that's the problem with brothers, right? Because actually all Anthony needs is for us to be kind
and supportive.
And instead we either don't care because we've got our own thing going on,
or we just laugh at him.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Also, what I love about season 2 is the jump back in time and to see why Anthony is the way he is.
And why we all are the way we are.
And why his relationship is the way it is with Lady Bridgerton. And for me, they're actually a couple of my favorite episodes when we see those moments and we see why the family dynamic is the way it is. And actually, in some respects, it's quite promising because you see that they've done really well and they are still happy. And actually through the trauma that they could have gone that they've gone through, it's it was really lovely, those moments to watch that and be like, wow, they got through that and look at them now. And also how it shaped them, it sort of shaped those relationships, and the fact that Anthony is sort of having to be a father and a brother, which is very difficult for him and difficult for Colin and Benedict because he's not a father, but also he is the head of the family, right? So it's a complicated relationship.
Yeah, no, it is well said. And I love those flashbacks too. They colored that, they really just filled in so many details. And did I cry? Possibly.
So did I, many times.
many tear-stained cheeks. Why do you think Kate and Anthony are going to be such a fan favorite couple?
I think what's beautiful about it is that for a start, it is so different. It's such a breath of fresh air in terms of it doesn't really bear comparison because the Daphne and Simon story was its own thing, and now this is its own thing, and it's a different romantic trope. It's the romantic trope of enemies that actually sort of find out that they love each other, right? And I think that's such a lovely trope to play with, just that idea of what happens psychologically. Why are people sort of not repelled, but sort of irritated by each other because actually they really fancy each other and want to be with each other. I think it's such a but that then informs the whole season. Like the whole season has a different feel, and it's everything is different about that aspect of it. The love story is different, the sex is different, because it's a different story and it's a different sequence.
And the old saying of opposites attract, when in actual fact in this story they're the same. They're almost the same person in completely. They've both been through grief. They've both got younger siblings that they're trying to support, and they meet in this rather unusual way, and have to try and navigate through that and work out that.
That's really good. I've never thought about that.
You're welcome.
You've done your research. It's really smart. Yeah.
That reveals. I love it. That was really good, by the way.
Got out of my game.
I'll use that. Use that one next time. Let's Luke Newton. I have to ask you, is there any hope for Colin and Penelope?
Well, I don't know if you're asking the right person. I have no idea. No, it was really fun this year to take their relationship, what feels like, to the next level. It feels like they've definitely, their relationship has developed. Maybe not to the extent that Penelope would like it to, but there's definitely been some growth. They've got closer, and they're still growing up. They're still very much young adults, and I feel like maybe that's due to Colin's position in the family. He hasn't grown up as fast as his older brothers, so maybe he feels kind of stunted because of that, and maybe that's why emotionally he hasn't grown up as much as we'd like him to. Sometimes I do want to shake him and just say, look at what's right in front of you. But at the same time, it doesn't make a as interesting story. We want to see these characters not quite get there. The Ross and Rachel sort of story between them. We want to see them. We want to see them work harder to find love, I guess.
Yeah. I love the Friends reference. Well played.
He's nailing it. Whatever's going on in this interview.
I did just have coffee, so that's it.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Too late.
Fantastic. Okay, let's talk about fashion. Let's talk a little bit about it because it's such an important part of the show. I wonder, what is it like suiting up? And do you think that the men's costumes are as uncomfortable? Your face just fell.
No. You know what? I was inwardly swooning. Genuinely at the fashion of, like, I think what's wonderful about this period, actually, and I think Bridgerton really reminds us about it, is that, you know, again, I think when we tend to see period dramas, we tend to see, you know, it is, yes, we talk about the female fashion, but actually, you know, meant that this was like the birth of like dandies, and like this is the first time men started to sort of like, you know, define themselves a little more, I think, by how they dressed. And so it's wonderful to explore that thing, and that you just wear those costumes, and you know, the costume people are putting so much, they're having so much fun with it, and it's so contagious. Like, you know, you put those things on and you just feel like $1 million. And you just, and also they're these little details that just absolutely make you feel like the character. And it reminds you that actually fashion was a thing, in the same way that, you know, you don't just wear a shirt or trousers, you wear it your own way. In the same way that in Regency, obviously it's the same, you know, there were different knots and there were different sort of waistcoats, and people define themselves and how they dress, which I think we can forget that, you know, our world and their world isn't that different.
We used to do that on set all the time, actually. The amount of times I saw you and I was like, I love your waistcoat. Like, we're always complimenting each other's costumes.
I know. And maybe we should bring these frock coats back. Maybe this is what it's leading to. Maybe we should start a
new trend.
2022 fashion trend.
Oh, yes, no, I like that. Just do it. You wear it so well. Before I let you go, Simone Ashley, new you know, actress on the show. What were your first impressions of her? What was it like adding her to the cast?
I have such a strong memory of this because it was in the middle of lockdown, and I went for some horse riding lessons for the show, and Simone was there for the first time. It's the first time I met her, and it was, what a lovely way to meet someone, you know, whilst you're like galloping across a field, whilst we were all sort of locked up as well. And you just know straight away. I think straight away as I met her, I thought, oh yeah, like it's actually something that Ruth, who plays our mum, sort of said about her as well. And not just her, like the entire Sharma family, Charithra, as well. Like I think, you know, it's like we've always been. It's like they just belonged there. Totally, you know, it felt like, you know, they'd always belonged there.
I think I actually met her the same day, or maybe later that week. It was her birthday, I think, and her and Johnny had been riding together. You and me had been riding together, and then Johnny had got her like a bottle of champagne for her birthday, and we all just shared it at the stables and had a little toast to her birthday. It was so lovely. But yeah, immediately there was just like a warmth there. And actually, I always say that the casting team on this show have just done such a good job of putting a group of actors together that just
knowing that the chemistry is going to flow.
It's like it can't be by fluke, you know. When the amount of cast members that come in, it is really special to be a part of that, really.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to be at that dinner table. A casting agent should create a dinner party.
Yes, so true.
My way in. Anyway, in the meantime, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. Brilliant work, and best of luck.